You don't see anybody building yet. Good evening. Welcome to the Copper Canyon Council meeting. I'd like to open the regular session Monday, February 10th, 2025, 7 p.m. If you'd all please stand, face the flag, and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag, while I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. We have a short agenda tonight, so I hope to get everybody home. Next item is public input. Anyone who would like to speak on public input may do now for a period of 3 minutes. You may ask for additional time by consensus of council. First person asked tonight to speak is Mr. Mark Pate, our Planning and Zoning Chairman, and Water District, and Fire District.
Water, fire, earth, air, you name it. Mark Pate, 12050 Meadow Lake Drive. I'm here to talk to you, give my annual report regarding the Upper Trinity Regional Water District. As many of you know, I was appointed by the town to be our representative on that water board. And by the way, my predecessor was Janet Ani, who we just talked about her property a little while ago. So Copper Canyon is a member of the Upper Trinity Regional Water District, and I represent Copper Canyon by serving as one of 24 board members who represent the municipalities served by the Upper Trinity Regional Water District. It serves all of Denton County and parts of Collin and Dallas counties. It's truly huge. It goes all the way from Castle Hills all the way over to Justin. Upper Trinity was created by the Texas legislature in 1989 to provide wholesale treated water and wastewater treatment services to its members. So it's really like a cooperative created to serve its participants. But it's also like an exclusive golf club where you can only join when it's formed, because after that, the membership is closed. Joining later is possible, but prohibitively expensive, because the new member must pay their share of the total system cost incurred up to the date of joining. And as you can imagine, we do lots of treatment plants and water pumping stations, so it gets too expensive to join later on. So Copper Canyon wisely joined in June of 1991 when the membership was first available and cheap, and increased its participation in the Debt Service Growth Fund in May of 1999. I was appointed to represent the town council in June of 2018. So we pay a small annual fee for membership based on our per capita residence. We last paid in October 24 based on 2,037 residents, 8 cents in the growth fund, 43.5 cents in the administration fund, totaling $1.23.5 for the annual fee, a total of only $2,515. And that rate is unchanged from the prior year. The number of residents obviously went up, so we paid a little bit more for a few residents. We are actually an indirect customer of the district since we do not buy water directly from the district like many of the other members do. We source our water from Cross Timbers Water Supply, as most of you know, which gets about a quarter of its water from Upper Trinity and the rest from its own wells. Cross Timbers is on the rate committee at Upper Trinity. That's why sometimes you find your water varies a little bit between hardness, because it depends on how much water they take from us and how much water they take from their wells. So sometimes you'll find your water varies a little bit. As a result, our board seat, where I sit, is a non-voting seat, essentially an observer status. I participate in all board meetings and serve on the Water Conservation Committee and the Watershed Protection Committee. I have a 98% attendance record. We meet monthly for several hours, and some of them get longer than that. It's a very, very big business. The budgeted revenues for fiscal 2025, beginning October 2024, it's kind of a municipal calendar year, so to speak, are $114.7 million, up from $97.4 million in fiscal 2024. About 75.8% is primarily from the sale of water, while the rest is from wastewater treatment services. Budgeted operating expenses for fiscal 2025 are $103.5 million, including $49.4 million for debt service, up from $89 million in fiscal 24, which included $39 million in debt service. So we're borrowing lots of money, and you will hear more about that in a minute. Budgeted capital expenditures are $488.1 million as compared to the $376 million last year. the vast majority of which is related to the water treatment plant expansions and Lake Ralph Hall construction. The district is audited annually by the big firm of Deloitte Touche. Results of the audit are presented to the board in March or April, coming up soon. During fiscal 2024, Upper Trinity delivered 16.3 billion gallons of water to its customers, and the water reclamation plants treated 5.4 billion gallons of wastewater in a very cost-efficient manner. The district manages more than 110 miles of treated water transmission pipelines. The map of those pipelines is confidential for security reasons, but when you see the map, it's like a spaghetti mix. It's unbelievable how many pipes are. It's always amazing to me that they know where every pipe is, how big it is, how far underground it is. And it's all of you developer folks know that if TxDOT wants to expand a road, Upper Trinity has to come out and dig up pipelines, move them over. It's a huge engineering challenge. Always lots of work going on in the district service area, expanding the treatment capability at the Taylor and Harpool water treatment plants, expanding the Doe Branch wastewater treatment plant over near the lake, constructing a new lift station, force mains and trunk mains, relocating pipelines as TxDOT builds and expands roadways, which I think we all know they do a lot of around here. And the pipe sizes need to be increased periodically to support the increased growth in our area. If you have more homes going up, you got to have a bigger pipe to get more water to them and more wastewater away from them. For fiscal year 2025, the district projects its sources of raw water from Lake Chapman in East Texas, which is a long way away, 11.5 million gallons per day, Lake Dallas, 29.5 million gallons per day, and water reuse, 5.75 million gallons per day. So Lake Ralph Hall is being built up in northern part of the county, up in the northern part of Texas, I should say. In the past, I've had some slides. I decided in the interest of time not to show you all slides. You can all go to the Lake Ralph Hall website to see the progress as they build up the dam. It is the first new lake to be completed. This is the second lake to be completed in Texas in the last 30 years. So Texas is way behind in building new reservoirs, partly for the usual reasons that people don't want to have their land flooded. So the total cost for Lake Ralph Hall when finished would be $984 million. That is largely being paid by the district. It will be online delivering water in the third quarter of 2026. Other construction-related activities include completing the pump station, the pipeline and balancing reservoir to get the water down from the lake back into the Irving pipeline that feeds into Chapman Lake and Lake Dallas. Mitigation, relocation of telephone, electric, and gas lines, building new roads. We had to build a road where a road went down through where the water is going to be. We had to build an elevated road, Highway 34, that's now elevated with bike lanes and everything else. Cultural resources, recreation plans for the shoreline, marina and fishing. We built a big jetty so that you can fish without getting out in a boat. And we're installing reef balls and brush piles for fish. They're already beginning to stock fish so that by the time the lake opens, it'll be a good fishing lake. When it's full, it will hold about 180,000 acre feet of water. Lake Louisville is much larger at 550,000 acre feet. Ray Roberts holds 788,000 acre feet. Lake Grapevine, right over here, can hold 247,000 acre feet for flood control. Just so you know, an acre foot is the amount of water that will cover an acre 1 foot deep. So think of a football field with 1 foot of water on it. That's an acre foot. An acre foot is equivalent to 326,000 gallons. An Olympic-sized swimming pool is 490,000 gallons, or 1.5 acre feet of water. So when full, Lake Ralph Hall will hold 59 billion gallons, or 120,000 Olympic pools. During the summer of last year, on a peak day, the district delivered 82.1 million gallons of water. In weight, that's 328,000 tons of water. Water weighs about 8 pounds a gallon. It's quite heavy, and you got to take a lot of energy to move it. In the summer of 23 and 24, there were no service interruptions in the service district. So you'll not be surprised to learn that after some of this recent rainfall, our reservoirs are full. We're in good shape going into the spring and the summer. And of course, a drought in the middle of the summer can change that radically. And one recent hot button issue is the PFAS, known as forever chemicals. I'm sure you've been reading about those in the newspaper and in the news. Those are per and polyfluoroalkyl substances are manufactured chemicals used since the 1940s for many things such as Teflon cookware, stain and water resistant chemicals for your clothing and sofas and things like that. Only recently have we become aware that these are everywhere and they break down very slowly and can build up in people, animals, and the environment over time. There's a number of agricultural areas that have been, quote, poisoned because of the PFS that are in wastewater that gets turned into fertilizer that gets put on the field, and now they can't grow anything on it because it's got too many of these chemicals on it. The good news for us that all tests have shown results that are below the new EPS contaminant levels, and in many cases showed no PFS at all in the water supply that you're getting. Upper Trinity is frequently rewarded and recognized for the quality of its water and its financial disclosure. So I want to thank the council for trusting me to serve as our representative on the board. A very interesting work, and I enjoyed quite a bit, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if anyone has it.
Thank you, Mark. Council, any questions? A lot to digest. But Mark, while you're there, I have to, many of you don't know, Mark's probably the greatest volunteer Copper Canyon has. He does Upper Trinity, Fire District, Planning and Zoning Chairman. He spends more time than I do.
I doubt that, but they're all very interesting subjects.
Thank you.
Thank you. And by the way, Sheila's got all this, and she just copied it down as I read it, so I know she knows it all. It's in the minutes.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it. Anyone else to speak in public hearing? Hearing none. Staff and mayor report. We had a very, very nice Copper Canyon Crime Control Luncheon. Troy, you did a great job putting it on.
Thank you.
All the way to the end when I saw you clearing tables. We had a great speaker, Jeremy Gerard. Sturard.
Yeah.
Okay. And with he's the district manager of the DPS 22 counties, I believe.
Yeah, he's the
42?
North Texas.
North Texas.
North Texas.
He was very informational. Everybody enjoyed it. A lot of energy. So that was great. And again, Troy, you did a great job. I appreciate it. Sheila, I know you had a lot to do with that too. That's all I have. At council, anybody have anything on their liaisons to report? Financial or anything? Good.
I've got a couple
Troy,
just quick
okay.
highlights, Mayor. We have a new employee. Our new court administrator is Colleen Calhoun. She comes from Flagstaff. She served as a legal assistant there. So we're excited about her starting this past week. And she'll be training with Jessica Baker, they were up here all day Saturday, and they'll be up here next Saturday as well, doing the training, getting her up to speed on our facility and how we manage court and all those things. So just wanted to recognize that. Also, on the week of February 17th, we're going to start the restriping of Copper Canyon Road, barring any weather events that occur. So that's posted on our website, as well as we've notified Lantana of that project as well. There'll be some temporary kind of moving lane closures, if you will. It'll be just single lanes as they're putting down the paint if temperature is conducive. The other thing I wanted to mention is the joint workshop on February 26th at 8:30 here with the Planning and Zoning and the Town Council. The discussion points will be the subdivision ordinance, the committee, who consists of Chase, Liebert, and Dave Gibson, Kimberly from P&Z, and Mitch, as well as Chris. We've been up here at night reviewing and getting that up to speed. Dunaway also plays a large role in that as well. So we've been doing that over the last couple months, and so it's now to a point where we're ready to share it with the council and P&Z together. And so Dunaway will be making that presentation on the 26th.
Okay.
And that pretty much is, I just wanted to highlight those couple of things, Mayor.
Can you give me an update on the traffic light, Vickery?
The traffic light at Vickery and 407, they have ordered the materials to start constructing that. It's looking around June, July timeframe when the install will occur of this year.
Okay. All right, thank you. Mon, Chief, you have anything? I didn't see you there, Chief Mon. I'm sorry. Look past you.
That's all right. Sometimes it's good to be interviewed. Mayor, Council, thanks for having me. I'll be brief. Just got a few things to announce. One I'd like to introduce, we have a new Assistant Fire Marshal in the back, Chris Aaron. Just please stand there. He's going to be working with Division Chief Mon Wynn. You probably know him. He does a lot of work. We're bringing Chris on because, as you know, we're adding a new fire station in southern North Lake. And it's an area where it's growing rapidly, and we've been paying Roanoke, the town of Roanoke, to cover that. where it's getting to the point where it's cost us more to pay them than we just do it ourselves. But part of that, providing the fire and EMS protection for that area, is we also have to take over the prevention side of it, doing the inspections and stuff like that. So we're bringing on Chris. He's going to help us work with mine as we take on more workload with all the developments going on in our community. Speaking of that, we do have a groundbreaking ceremony on February 19th at 10 a.m. It's going to be right, if you know where Texas Motor Speedway is, there's a road there called Dale Earnhardt. It's on the other side, the east side of 35, but that's where our groundbreaking for the new station is going to be. It's very interesting. We've done a lot of research. It's a modular fire station. It's actually being built right now, and it'll be shipped here. But the construction itself and the site work starts this week. So we've already got a sign out there, and they're starting. And so there'll be some dozers and some dirt work there when we have our groundbreaking ceremony. But we're excited about that. That is scheduled to open in July. So hopefully that'll work out really well. Just to give an update on the ambulance. Last time I was here, I spoke about we were having issues with the manufacturer getting us the ambulance. I was very concerned about that. I had a lot of conversations since then, and they did provide us what they call a loaner ambulance for free. They're giving us an ambulance that we can use as a kind of a reserve, because we have a reserve ambulance. We're going to use that as our front line for the new the station here on 513 off Copper Canyon Road. And so we're going to go forward with that. We have the ambulance. It's going to be ready. We look to put the ambulance in service on February 15th. So on February 1st, we hired 6 new firefighters. They are going through a 2-week orientation as we speak. And we're going to be putting the ambulance in service on February 15th. It's pretty exciting. We're excited about it. Of course, the dynamics of moving people, can't have all the new people in one station, so we have some changes there. But we're very excited about that. I know we're excited to offer that to the citizens of obviously Copper Canyon and Lantana and even Bartonville. That's the area we'll cover. Speaking of that, we did have, I think it's important, passes on, I'll end with this, is this past Saturday we had our annual awards banquet. It was a great time, fellowship, and celebrating all the achievements last year. And every year we do life-saving awards. And what we ask, we good or bad, however you think of this, but we do get a lot of life-saving throughout the year where we save people's lives, and that's always great. But we always ask the members to vote on and nominate, what is an incident that happened, life-saving, that we saved someone's life, and the one that stood out the most. So we're just going to recognize one life-saving award for the one that really stood out. Well, the one that was nominated and mentioned was a gentleman lived in Copper Canyon who was involved in an accidental gunshot. We ended up treating the individual and transporting, got him to the hospital in just record time, less than 20 minutes, and it really saved his life. But the interesting part about that story is since we've been talking about this new ambulance, I had given orders to my staff that anytime we have just some extra staffing, like maybe people cancel their vacations and end up there, I said, we can go ahead and put that ambulance in service. So we've only done it less than one hand how many times we did. Well, that particular day, we put the ambulance in service. It made a huge impact because we were able to transport the patient. They got to the surgery in less than 20 minutes. It was amazing. And because of that, he lived. 17 minutes with got there. And so, it's obviously, I call it divine intervention, but it was really just one of those moments. And the gentleman got up. He was actually at the event. He spoke. And interesting enough, I didn't know he was going to say this. He goes, I voted for this too. And so to hear him say that, he was boo-hoo and crying and everything else. But, it's just God works in mysterious ways. And, thank the Lord for just being there for that gentleman. And it was a great recognition. But it's something that we're excited about. All the more reasons why we need it, and we need that ambulance at that station. So very excited about that. Any questions?
No, you're doing a great job. I mean, you've turned this department around.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you all.
Something to be proud of. Chris, anything? Nothing brother-in-law's on tonight? She's not here. No report, Chief. Okay, next item is a public hearing. Time being 7:20, I will open the public hearing for Quarter Horse Ranch preliminary plat allowing for the development of approximately 9.6 acres and allow for development of 4 single-family lots located at 399 Woodland Drive, Copper Canyon. Anyone now may speak in favor or opposition of this project. Anyone here to speak in favor or opposition? Seeing no one to speak in favor or opposition, time being 7:21, I will close the public hearing. We'll go to consent agenda. Any item on the consent agenda may be removed by any member of council for individual discussion or consideration. Council, anything to be removed? If not, I chair entertain a motion to approve.
I don't have anything to remove, but I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as documented.
I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a second? I have a second by Councilmember Andrews. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Motion carries. Next item is discussion and discussion item. Discuss, consider, and take action regarding Quarter Horse Ranch preliminary plat, allowing for the development of approximately 9.6 acres and allow for the development of 4 single-family lots located at 399 Woodland Drive, Copper Canyon. Council, the planning and zoning, I believe, passed this last month unanimously. This is a 4-lot does not count as a subdivision, does not have to meet all the requirements of the subdivision because it's under 5 lots. Anything 4 lots or less. Is there an applicant here that'd like to speak, or?
Hi, good evening, Mayor, council members. My name is Elimar Bracho, 2570 Justin Road, Highland Village. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just here to representing the developer. They're here as well, just in case you have any questions related to the subdivision. We're here to answer.
Thank you. Chris, you have anything to add to this?
No, not really. As you mentioned, it's 4 lots. The biggest probably thing that we're still looking at is the downstream assessment. And we've talked with the developer as well as Troy about getting some comments addressed prior to final plat. The only other thing to mention is they are going to have the public street. So it's not going to be a private street. It'll be a public cul-de-sac.
Okay. Troy, I know that planning and zoning members come in, and there was, after the meeting, seemed to be maybe some
Yes,
discussion with
there
neighbors.
was some discussion with the fencing around the perimeter
Right.
of the development. And I know they have, the developer has met with them, and I'm not sure what the result of that was. I don't know if they want to speak
Can
to
you
that.
answer to that? I know you don't really have to meet a consistent fencing requirement due to the fact it's not a subdivision, but did that get worked out with the neighbors? Okay, thank you. I'd ask that the developer meets with the neighbors at our DRC meeting, and the developer went out of their way to do that. I know for a fact, so. Council, any questions on this?
I have a question on the power line
Okay.
relocation. How is that going to get relocated? There's a notation on here that a power line to be relocated.
So they're going to avoid the easement. The existing power line easement that's there is going to remain unchanged.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not physically moving anything.
No, they come. Okay.
You're talking about, I'm sorry, the power line that is crossing all
Right.
the, yeah, we already contacted, CoServe. I was thinking like Encore is not Encore, I'm sorry. Yeah, we already contacted CoServe regarding that issue. We're probably gonna relocate the power line. They're okay with it. They're working right now on the design. They are gonna send us all the requirements, easement locations for that relocation. We're waiting for them to send us all the information, but if an easement is required, we're gonna add it to the final plat.
And is the power going to be above ground or below ground?
Below ground. It's gonna be relocated, yeah. The plan, so as far as right now, is there's an existing pole on the right of way next to our property. That's where they're gonna go down, and then it's gonna go all underground until next to the railroad, not next to the railroad inside the property, but almost next to the railroad, and then they're gonna go up in.
Okay. Thank you.
Chris, there's a lot of photography, whether there's any drainage issues or that you're concerned about.
Not to be concerned about specifically. The property does drain towards the railroad tracks. We do know that crossing there is undersized. And so that's part of the downstream, the additional work that they're doing to make sure that their improvements don't create any additional issues coming downstream.
Okay.
They've also coordinated a little bit with the adjacent neighbor who had concerns about the upstream water getting into the property through the fence and some of those other things.
Okay. Council, any other questions? No other questions from council or public? I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. We accept the Quarter Horse Estates preliminary plat, allowing for the development of 9.6 acres approximately.
I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem to approve. Is there a second? I have a second by Councilmember Gibson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. The motion carries. Next item is discussion of future agenda items. Anything, council, on a future agenda item? Hearing none, time being 7:25, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion, we adjourn.
I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem to adjourn. Second? Second, Councilmember Andrews. All in favor? Aye, unanimous carry. Motion carries. Told you I'd get you home early.
Yeah, next meeting, we're going to talk about the investment plan.
So was that?
I was going to talk about it. I was going to